Hello, Rosie. Hi. In my last video, I showed you briefly some cyanotype printing, and a few people have asked me about that. And so I'll do this video totally about cyanotype printing. It's a very simple process. You buy the paper, and it's a paper that's been treated with a chemical. Don't ask me what, because I'm not a chemist. And it comes in a plastic bag. Now the paper is light sensitive, so don't take it out of the plastic bag until you're actually ready to do the printing, or you'll spoil it, okay? It's a very simple craft project. A child could do it. So you collect a bunch of stuff, maybe flowers and leaves from your garden or whatever you fancy. You lay them out quickly on a sheet of cyanotype paper. Decide in advance exactly what you're going to do. Expose the paper to the sun for 10 to 15 minutes, bright sunshine, and then rinse the paper. Let it dry and you'll be left with a gorgeous print. See, it's simple. Decide what you're going to do, gather your stuff, put it on the paper, let the sunlight do its work, rinse it, let it dry, and your prints are done. It's simple and it's fun. Let's have a go. So here we are. The feather, various little beads, little bits of haberdashery, a flower and more beads and more beads. You just put them on the paper and leave them to it for, like I said, 10-15 minutes in bright sunshine. You'll notice I've put some clear plastic over the top of some of them. That's not absolutely necessary. You could use a plastic wallet, or you could just leave it without that altogether and see what happens. They're mostly just to hold things flat. And then it's just a matter of waiting. Patiently waiting. Okay, so the next job is to rinse them. Now at the moment, they're not going to look very interesting, and they won't until they're completely dry. So just chuck these, put these in the sink. Give them a good rinse. The full colours will not be revealed until they're completely dry. That's enough, don't need any more water than that. Give them a good soak, get rid of the chemicals of the water. You might have to rinse them twice to get rid of it all. Be a bit careful that you don't tear the paper. With it being wet, it becomes fragile. Not that fragile, but like any other soggy paper, it's not exactly tough stuff. Give it a good soak. You can see that gorgeous blue colour coming. I think some of it's been more successful than others, but that's the name of the game. That was the haberdashery bits. That was some beads. I think that was a flower. That's not really shown at all at the moment, is it? And what's that? That was some beads. You can just about see a patternation on the paper. And that was a feather. And that's not come out at all. A few little marks. But let's wait till it's completely dry until we make our final verdict. And that again is just a matter of being patient. You need to be patient for all arts and crafts. None of it's done in a moment. There you go. Just let it soak for a few minutes, let it rinse, and stick it somewhere to dry. Simple. And here are the finished dried cyanotype prints. I think some worked better than others. Let's have a look at them. This one was Aqualegia leaves. It's quite clear. This was crystal beads, but that hasn't come out too well at all. This was shells, which is kind of interesting. This is slightly better shells. The two tiny little, what do you call it, starfish. This was an Aqualegia flower with some seed pods. This was a feather. That hasn't come out at all, really. You've got shells here. Got an interesting shadow where the thicker curled over part of the shell has let less light through. And there we've got beads, and those are the haberdashery bits, little sew-on flowers and butterflies. Now this is a bit interesting, because if you look closely you can see a little face. The tiny little bubbles were made from very small beads, and if you look, there's a forehead, an eyebrow, an eye, a nose, an upper lip, and perhaps a secondary little face down here with an eye and a nose and a hint of a mouth. I don't know what this blur is as part of the face. It's actually a penstemon flower, but it's kind of printed in such a way that it looks like a face. Now my favourite of the collection is over here. Honesty seed pods, dried honesty seed pods, which looks almost like some kind of deep sea organism, but it isn't. Dried seed pods. They always remind me of my maternal grandmother, because in her little house in Knutsford, in Cheshire in England, in the bathroom she had a huge display of dried honesty in front of a vanity mirror. So when I ever see them, it always reminds me of her. So there we are. Now, you can buy cyanotype paper online readily from craft stores, eBay, Amazon, umpteen different outlets. It doesn't have to be this size, you can get much bigger pieces than this. I just bought these small pieces for experimental purposes, just for a bit of a giggle, self-entertainment. You can get large sheets, you can get small sheets. Take your choice. And have fun with it. Like I said, it's so simple. Keep the light type paper covered until you're ready to use it. So plan ahead what you're going to put on the paper. Expose it for bright sunshine for 10 and 15 minutes, and then rinse off the paper till it goes blue, till the water runs clear. Only takes a few minutes, and then let it dry. It's as simple as that. Have fun with it and let me know how you get on.